Today we are going to compare the top 10 cities of Poland where you can retire. Let's go to retireonmybudget.com and get started. You can log in or register to access full features. But if you want, you can also try it without login and compare the cost of living. We will go to the compare page and like always we will add New York as the current city. I'll add 5 cities at a time. So whenever you add a city, make sure you select from the drop-down. Sometimes you might not see the full name, but you can see the first name in the country. Now that we have added 5 cities, we will start with the comparison. Comparing prices first, based on the local salaries. I will move it around in the decreasing order of the salary. As you can see, the salaries in Poland are 6 times lower than in New York. But since we are comparing the cities in Poland, we'll compare the difference between salary and the expenses. Comparing the markets. Most of the grocery items are extremely inexpensive, 2 to 3 times cheaper as compared to New York. So it is very affordable. If we compare the restaurants, they are also very affordable. Utilities, on the other hand, are more expensive. So if you're planning to move to Poland, energy-efficient appliances and solar panels would be a good investment. Comparing clothing and shoes. The clothes and shoes from some brands are expensive. It could be because these brands were heavily taxed. I'd recommend you to purchase the local brands if you move there. Clothes from chain stores like Zara and H&M cost similar to New York. Nike is also taxed heavily. Overall, the clothing and shoes from your favorite stores are expensive in Poland. Comparing transportation. Local transportation is affordable. However, personal transport might dig a hole in your pocket. Cars are cheaper in Poland. Comparing sports and leisure cost. Sports and leisure activities are affordable in Poland, especially in Wroclaw and Krakow. Let's move on and compare childcare. As you can see, it is almost 10 times cheaper than New York, especially in Krakow. It is easier to purchase an apartment in Poland and mortgage rates are not too bad. So definitely worth an investment. Let's compare the healthcare. Healthcare system index-wise, Warsaw and Krakow are doing good. We can see how different cities are doing in terms of skills of staff, speed of completion, equipment, accuracy, friendliness, responsiveness, and so much more. Let's compare the pollution rate. Comparatively, the pollution is high in Poland. Air pollution, to be specific. Gdansk has less pollution rate as compared to the other cities in Poland. Drinking water is better in Warsaw. Cities are cleaner as compared to New York. Let's move on and compare the traffic. Traffic index is higher in Warsaw and Wroclaw. Time index is great. CO2 emissions are also on a decent level. Working from home is on the rise. Now we'll compare the most important factor of all, the crime. Crime index is low in all the cities. That's a good thing. Level of crime. Crime increase in past 3 years. Worries of home broken, things stolen, mugged, robbed. Everything is good. Safety is one of the most important factor here, and Warsaw is doing best. I'll keep my top 3 from this comparison along with New York and add 5 more cities to the comparison. Again, we'll arrange it in decreasing order of the salary and start with comparing the cost of living. We can the apartment rents in the city and outside the city and see the difference between the salary and the apartment. My goal is find the right balance and not the cheapest rent. Similarly, comparing the grocery prices. Bielsko-Biala is standing out in this comparison. You can compare the prices of your favorite items here. Moving on to restaurants. The prices are great. That means better quality of life. Utility, on the other hand, is more expensive. You might want to switch to a renewable energy source like solar panels if you move to Poland. Most fashion brands are offering expensive items in Poland. It can also mean that these brands are paying heavy taxes. Purchasing local brands might save you extra bucks. Public transportation is cheap. Private transportation is expensive in Poland because of higher prices of gasoline. Sports and leisure is much affordable. Child care is way too cheaper than USA. This alone will attract people from around the world. Purchasing an apartment is also budget-friendly in Poland. Mortgage rates are fine. Comparing healthcare, we can see that Bielsko-Biala stands out here on all healthcare stats at a decent level. Warsaw being the clear winner so far. Comparing pollution rate. Pollution is generally higher in most of the Poland where air quality is the major concern. The difference is not huge, but a lot can be improved. Water, on the other hand, is cleaner. Comparing the traffic rate. Traffic is low. CO2 emission is low in Bielsko-Biala at an impressive rate. Finally, comparing the crime rate. You can see here that the crime rate is very low in most cities. Along with crime index, we can compare the other stats. After doing this comparison, I have made my choice. My top 3 would be Warsaw, followed by Wroclaw, followed by Bielsko-Biala. If you liked the video, then hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Feel free to try retireonmybudget.com and compare for yourself.